Welcome everyone and thanks for joining me for episode 23 of my Manchester United career on FM19. Today we are at Old Trafford as we take on Leicester City. Really looking forward to this one. A great opportunity to get another 3 points for the league. But since then I've played quite a lot of games off camera. Let's go through them and see how we've been getting on in all competitions. So after that midweek trip in the Champions League to Dortmund in the previous episode, we returned to England, to Molineux, to take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. This game finished 0-0. Wolves were solid at the back. Tell me something new. We found it so difficult to break them down. I mean, look at that. They only had 2 shots, not one on target, and they was playing at home as well. Up next, we, again, were on the road. This time in the EFL Cup third round at Vicarage Road against Watford. This game finished 0-0, went straight to penalties, and thankfully we just came out on top. They missed through Pereira, and we won 5-4. We scored all of our penalties, so nothing to worry about there. Then we were back home to take on Watford again, this time with 3 points up for grabs, and we did beat them. I thought, we'd rotate slightly in that game in the EFL Cup, and then we'll have them at Old Trafford, and we did just that. We dominated throughout. We only allowed them 3 opportunities on goal, 2 of those on target. We beat them 2-0. Good 3 points, solid 3 points. Elvedi with his first goal for the club. Paul Pogba making it 2-0 in the 90th minute. Then up next, we had Lyon come to town in the Champions League group stages. We beat them 2-0. Good easy 3 points, this one. Almost a walk in the park. Elvedi with another solid performance for his new club, Manchester United. Solid at the back once again. Can't fault it really. 2 goals from Sanchez and Fernandes. We travelled to Bournemouth then. Once again for more Premier League action. We have quite a good record against Bournemouth. Not too fussed about them, to be honest. I think they can be a bit of a bogey side for some people on FM, but clearly not for me in this save, as we beat them 2-0. Romelu Lukaku, our top goal scorer last season, with 2 goals. We didn't have far to travel, as our next game was against Southampton away from home. This one finished 1-1, a bit more difficult than our journey to Bournemouth, but, it was a game we really should have been winning. On paper, we should have won it, but again, Southampton, like Wolves, a bit difficult to break down. And finally, bringing us all up to date, we travelled to Moscow to take on Lokomotiv Moscow. It finished 1-0 there. It was a decent 1-0 away win. I'll take it. I did rotate as well the side. Ramiro starting in goal for this one. Wan-Bissaka with a man of the match performance. Was really impressed with him. His defensive responsibilities, his duties there in that position, got them right down to a T. Did what I asked of him, and he came away with the man of the match award. So there we go. Since the last episode, we're unbeaten. 2 draws and 5 wins. Can't argue with that. And we've got Leicester next. Great opportunity to win again. So here's the league table then as it currently stands. Heading in to our next game against Leicester. We are currently second. 2 points behind the league leaders, Liverpool. They look like they're going to cause us some problems this season. Arsenal level on points with us, as well as Southampton. You can see why we drew 1-1 against Southampton. It's almost as if they're going for the title this season. I mean, anything can happen, but we'll just have to wait and see. And our group stage looks like this. We are at the halfway stage of the Champions League groups, and we are sitting pretty at the top. Well, not so pretty. We're only a point top. Lyon just a point below us. Dortmund haven't had the best of starts. They've won, drawn and lost 1 in all 3 games. Right then, to business. Manchester United against Leicester City. 3 points is a must. This is our team, going with that positive mentality. We're playing at home, of course. Higher tempo, shoot on sight, counter press, counter. We're playing with a standard defensive line with a higher line of engagement. I have put Matic in ahead of Fred, who's lacking match fitness. Who else do we have? We do need to put Bruno Fernandes on the bench, actually. We'll drop Fred for this game. Sanchez wants more first-team football, but I prefer to play Martial over the top of him, to be honest. Scott McTominay lacking match fitness. What do we do here then? Do we... You know what? Let's stick Herrera in for McTominay. Matic, Herrera and Pogba in. midfielder 3. I think that should be enough to see us get the result here today against Leicester. Our back 4 starting to grow together, starting to get that understanding, having the new addition of Nico Elvedi, who seems to have settled in just perfectly. Although I would have preferred the man from Leicester in Harry Maguire, who does start today alongside Johnny Evans. But it just doesn't seem as though it's going to happen with Harry Maguire and trying to bring him to Old Trafford. I've had Jim Lawler, our chief scout, watching him now for the last year or so, and it's just not winning him round. Slimani also starts, their top goal scorer today. Well, here we go, we get kick-off then. United against Leicester in Premier League action here at Old Trafford. Let's just switch that to the league table. So we are playing before everyone else here on the weekend, so we've got a chance to go top just by a point. If we do, of course, win this game, which I'm feeling pretty confident about. Normally home games, I always turn our home ground into an absolute fortress on FM. Doesn't matter who I'm managing. Martial almost made it 1-0. Rashford had to go as well. They covered that well at the back there, supporting Kasper Schmeichel. And Rashford absolutely skies it there. Great opportunity to make it 1-0. Good distribution there from Schmeichel to pick out his full-back in Ricardo. It was Adrian Silva. Boris Silva again. And Didi. Passing it around at the moment nicely. Looking comfortable in midfield to Leicester. It's good press, and there we go. We forced them into making that mistake, and it's in possession of Luke Shaw, who finds Marcus Rashford. Martial, what are you doing? Just about gets to it. He's faster than that. Here is Wan-Bissaka. It's Martial! How about that? It's 1-0. 10 minutes gone. I was a bit worried about Martial's decision making here. As you can see, Slimani almost won the ball. But keep watching Martial's run. Oh, can we get a better camera angle on that? Should we go for TV? So you can see Martial. He keeps on running. Failed to get picked up by any of the Leicester players. I think that might be Albrighton there. And Martial with his right foot slams it home to make it 1-0. Who is that? Is it Albrighton? I can't click on him. I know he's come from the right side. Let's see if we can... Yeah, it is Mark Albrighton. So he's absolutely failed to pick Martial up there. You can see head in hands almost. Martial making up for what could have been an absolute disaster, giving the ball away when it was totally unnecessary. He had the pace to close it down. It's still a bit worrying. I know it was more of a central midfielder's role to be there. I'm not sure where Pogba or Herrera was, but thankfully Martial did get the pass away and did go on to score. Hardly anything's happened in this first half since that goal. Wan-Bissaka's been brilliant. We've been brilliant at the back, our back 4. There we go, that's half time. Leicester have failed to even have one shot on goal. It's absolutely brilliant. But we need to add goals to this game now. We need that second just to make things a bit more comfortable. If we can get a second, we might even open up the floodgates even more. But saying that, this does feel as though it's a game without any highlights. It's one of those. You get a goal and that's it. It's just going to be a boring finish to the game. A boring episode altogether, which is unfortunate. We've got a corner here. Lingard swings it in for Pogba. And it is a whisker away. It's over the goal. Still 1-0. Here is Johnny Evans, who returns to Old Trafford here today. Luke Shaw to Matic. Here's Martial. Coming in quite narrow again. Nice little 1-2 there. Playing those triangles. Here is Pogba. Martial. Just couldn't get enough whip on that. Couldn't get enough swerve. It's a good idea. Could see what he was going for with that right foot again. You see it so many times in real life by Martial's game. It's brilliant how he comes in from the left-hand side, using his favoured right. And 9 times out of 10, he'll always find the back of the net, given enough space, given enough time. He knows where the goal is. as we saw a couple of seasons ago against Stoke, hitting it first time on his right foot. Absolutely beautiful. I just he makes it look so easy how he can caress the ball into the top right hand corner. Here he is again. Here is Wan-Bissaka now. Just couldn't get the ball past his man. Herrera, Bissaka. Pogba. Ooh, should be putting that in the back of the net, I think. Had a great opportunity on goal. Right, let's bring on Lukaku, our top goal scorer from last season. Let's see what he can bring to this game. Marcus Rashford failed to have any impact, any say on this one. Marco Brighton swings it in for Ndidi. Oh, they've hit the post. Very close there from Leicester, and they've won themselves a corner. After that set piece, you've got to be careful of the likes of Harry Maguire. Real aerial threat. Pogba lets up one go, and it's Damari Gray that gets it. Here is Maguire now. That's the end of the highlights. So that's their first shot on goal, and it's rattled the post. Poor throw from Wan-Bissaka there. Here is Nemanja Matic. Good ball into the box, and Martial denied twice there by Kasper Schmeichel. Lingard, another corner, another failed corner. I think I'm going to have to take him off the left corner duty. Actually, I'm not sure why it hasn't been Rashford. I know I've took Rashford off now, but I'm not sure why it hasn't been Rashford taking the corners on the left side. Normally is. I'm going to bring on Bruno Fernandes for Paul Pogba. I hate taking Pogba off. The quality of Pogba. I'd hate to take him off, but he's just underperformed today, unfortunately. I wonder if I was to have switched to the 4-2-3-1, whether we would have got a bit more out of Pogba. And let's see what Bruno Fernandes can do. Let's just that's the assistant there for his advice. As they've just brought on Amati, who is playing at right back for Ricardo. As our tactical changes made. Don't really need to do too much. Let's see if we can drop our defensive line back a little bit as time is getting on. And I just fear, because it's still at 1-0, I just fear that Leicester are going to pop up somewhere and get an equaliser. Here is Matic. Finds Martial. Our passing hasn't been the best today. Here's Martial. Good cross into the box. Just glances off the head of Romelu Lukaku, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Wan-Bissaka. Look at that average rating. 8.4. Another man of the match performance from him. He is looking exhausted. We do have Crystal Palace next in the EFL Cup. It's a good opportunity to rotate. But then again, I want him to start against his former side. That'd be interesting. Daniel James comes on then. Let's run down that clock. Off goes Jesse Lingard. Danny James probably doesn't have... Oh, here we go. Adrian Silva with the free kick. Ricardo Silva again. Into the hands of De Gea, and that... Can you just imagine if that went in? The referee has blown the whistle. So there we go. 1-0 to United. I'm happy. It's another 3 points, but we should have scored more in that game, I think. Being passionate. Luke Shaw looking switched off. That's not good. But with that win, we do go top of the Premier League. We've now maintained an unbeaten record, 6 games in a row without losing. After that win against Leicester, not many goals have been scored there. You can see 2 draws and 4 wins. It's not the best. Right then, so the next episode, I'm thinking, will be the game against Millwall. Newly promoted Millwall. That should be an interesting one, and obviously a great opportunity to get another win and smash a few past them. And then I'm thinking the episode after that will be the trip to the Etihad against Man City in the Premier League, and then the game against Olympique Lyon, which will be the final group game of the Champions League. And then the episode after that will be a double live com against both London sides, Arsenal and Chelsea. So Millwall next, then Man City, then Lyon, and then a double live com against Arsenal and Chelsea. That's it for this one though. Thanks for watching, guys.